Hello YouTube, this is William. Welcome to another introduction, if you will. This is an introduction on the new Woods and Game model. And as of this video release, it will be available for first runs on the Great Northern Knives website. Okay, first runs will be sold through Great Northern Knives. Okay, they will be setting the handles and shaping the handles. I will be doing the blades as always from Great Northern Knives. Anything that's bought through Great Northern Knives, they set the handles and shape the handles. So anyway, I wanted to kind of explain the design of my thoughts of when I designed this and what each little part represents and what it's designed to do. First of all, this knife its primary use is some light firecraft, light campcraft, and of course skinning, game prep, from trout to bull moose. I mean, everything in between. That's what this knife was designed to do. So I'm gonna go through each little bit from the pommel to the tip and explain why I did what I did, because I think that every knife design should incorporate from the pommel to the tip. I mean, that's part of knife design. Or as my interpretation of knife design anyway. So I don't sit down and draw something and say, wow, that looks cool. Every knife that I design, there is a purpose, there is an intent for every portion of that knife, from the pommel to the tip, okay? So anyway, if you're unfamiliar with WC knives, welcome to the obsession. We are looking for the perfect knife, but I hope we never find it, because the pursuit is so fun, okay? All right, so Tim Roper, who is on YouTube as the meat trapper, who has tested the master trapper for me, is also had this in field trials for several months. And there will be a playlist on this YouTube channel that is going to incorporate all the videos for this knife in that one playlist. There's going to be field trials from Great Northern Knives. There's going to be and their staff. There's going to be field trials from Tim Roper and his thoughts on it, and also this video in that playlist, so you can get a good idea of what this knife is about, okay, and actual field use, practicality of it, all right? And they will share their thoughts on it, and at least you will have an informed opinion or in your decision of whether you think this knife is for you or not, okay? All right, so let's talk about the pommel. It has the hidden lanyard, which gets the lanyard. Wow, that mosquito is huge. It'll get the lanyard out of your way, so when you grip the knife, you don't have a bulb right there. It pokes into your palm or your hand. I hate a lanyard in a knife that you feel. So this one gets it out of the way. That's the purpose of why I do hidden lanyards on 98, 99% of all of my designs. You can still get in there and feed a lanyard through there very easily. I set all of my lanyards after the handles is set, right before they ship out. So replacing the lanyard, if you want some different color or length or whatever, then they're easily done, all right? So that's the hidden lanyards. Let's talk about the handle in general. The handle is contoured like so. It has a little squeeze point here and a bubble up here, and that is to act as a semi-guard. It's also to act as a warning that you're getting close to the business part of this blade. But it has a swell here for your palm, so you have a very comfortable hand purchase. The scales on either side is 3/8 on either side. the thickness of the steel is 3/32. So in general, the palm thickness of this knife is going to be about 7/8 of an inch. So it's going to be a very generous thick slab, because most of the times when we're using this for game prep, we're going to have gloves on. It's going to be cold. You're going to want a handle that fills up your hand. Okay, and I have very large hands, so that's how it fills up my hand. It's very comfortable to use, okay? And so you have that pinch point up there, so you can grab this handle or this knife. Even grabbing it up here, you still have a very good non-slip purchase, okay? If you grip that blade, you're not going to slip up on that blade. And so there's enough of a purchase on this micarta that you don't have to worry about it slipping up on your hand. As long as you grip the knife, you'll be fine, okay? It's when you hold a knife loosely is when you get in trouble, all right? So if you just grip a knife, normal grip, you're not going to slide up, all right? Okay. The shape of the knife, and I'll give you the width of it. At the widest part, it's about 1.125" at the widest part. And all of these knives are hand ground, handmade, so they're going to vary slightly, not a whole bunch, but they'll vary a little bit. The contour of this knife is kind of got a boat tail at the bottom of it, and the purpose of that is when you're skinning game, everybody that's skinning game know that you're using a knife upside down probably half the time. So it's designed to where it fits in your palm. See how it just curves up? It fits in your palm when you're doing an upside down cut, okay? Like so. And if I can do this left-handed so you can see. So when your thumb rests on this, you have a good grip right there. So when you're going up those bellies, those legs of those animals, it fits, it just nestles in this, and your palm it fits in there very nicely, okay? It's very comfortable to use. That's the reason for this little, it's kind of got a little swell here, and then it comes down to a very narrow part here. And that's for upside down use, okay? But again, it swells out here to give you a warning that, hey, you're getting close to the business part of this knife. It also acts as a slight guard to help you to keep your hands from sliding up on this blade, okay? If you put a metal guard out here, it always is in the way, so I don't design knives with a big metal guard. They're more intrusive than useful. Okay, that's what I found. So anyway, this portion here is a Scandi. This portion right here is a Scandi. Okay, so it has a Scandi portion that's about 1.125" long. This portion here. So that is plenty of room there to get your feathers, get your notches for your tent stakes, all your campcraft and all of that. And it goes into this little facet right here. You see a little facet? Okay, the reason for that is in skinning, what is the thing that goes dullest the fastest? That's right, it's the tip. You got it, yeah, that's the tip. So this is a second tip. See that point right there? See the facet? So that little tooth, that one serration right there, will go through gristle. It'll go through all the hard, dense materials when you're trying to skin an animal, the cartilage and all that stuff. And it's actually dropped slightly below. So that tip, when you're going up the legs, it actually, your hand is out of the way. When you can get that hook, that little tooth in there, that little hook, and go through those bellies and without actually cutting any of the entrails, go around those legs and all that other stuff. It hooks around everything. And so you can save the tip for when you need the tip, okay? So this part here, although they're made out of AEBO stainless steel, so it's gonna hold an edge a very long time. But still, again, when you're doing a lot of skinning, a lot of game prep, you wanna save this tip as long as you can so you use this portion, okay? So that will that's actually gonna help you in your skinning task. We're not recreating the wheel, we're just making it better, all right? Okay, So that's what that little serration is, that little hook. Again, you grab that belly and go up that belly, and everything else is out of the way, so you don't have to worry about cutting those entrails and all that other stuff and that little nasty stuff in there, okay? So that's what that design tip is for, that design drop is for right here in that hook right there, okay? It also helps with feathers too. I mean, it does a phenomenal job with feathers. Just get that, and anybody that's used a tracker style knife knows how that that curl there works on. And I don't have a stick, but anyway. So that's where that facet comes in right there. This portion here is straight because every knife I design, realistically, you're on camp, you're at the house. What are you going to use a knife for mostly? You're going to use it for a chef. So this right here is designed to where it's straight. So you see, it looks like a chef's knife. So your hands out of the way, chop up those veggies, all that good stuff. And it comes into a very thin apex. Multi-grinds does not mean that this edge here is different. This edge here is always the same angle. So when you're sharpening it, all you gotta do is just lay that knife down on that scanty right there, and it just pull it all the way through. Okay, it's all the same angle. So it's very simple to sharpen. If you want to keep and maintain that facet, then sharpen it up to that facet on either side. Then come back here and sharpen it up to that facet on either side. That will maintain that facet there on that tooth. If I can get it in the light here a little bit, okay? And there's a sharpening playlist on this YouTube channel if you want to see more about how to sharpen a knife with a tooth. It's very simple, very simple. So basically what a compound grind does is it changes the thickness of this apex of where the cutting edge is. See, this apex is very thick. It's for splitting things apart. It's for denser materials. It's for wood processing, things like that. Where you get a very thin apex, so you have less drag. It's a slicing ability. It chops those veggies real well, and all that good stuff. And so that's the reason we have two different grinds, is because we don't use this portion of the knife the same way we use this portion of the knife. All right. Okay, so that's what this part, as far as that flat edge. You can do fillets with this. I mean, it acts as a very stiff fillet knife. Again, 3/32 steel is very thin steel. It's kind of a medium between a 1/16 inch, which is very thin, to an 1/8 inch, which is getting a little on the thick side for a lot of your fillet and boning tasks. But this one is kind of a happy medium. It does all of that stuff well. It does not excel at everything, but it does a lot of things well. Okay, that's what we were looking for. All right, so then you have this little saber portion here for all your veggie prep, your boning, your fillets, if you will, and all that, getting that silver skin off when you're processing game and all of that good stuff. Then it comes up to a slight ergonomic hump here. And everybody that knows game prep and knows skinning knows what that hump's for, okay? It just rides on that game, and lets that hide right up on that little belly right here. And I mean, it'll go through hides like a zipper, okay? That's what that little belly is there for. And also when you're taking the hide off, it brings that tip back to where you don't puncture the hide and get into things that you don't want that tip to get into, okay? So that's what that slight ergonomic hump is there, okay? And that is just a beautiful knife. I really like, after I incorporated everything I wanted into the knife, I stood back and looked at it. That's how I designed the knife. I said, wow, that doesn't look too bad at all. But just the comfort of it, fitting in your hand, even upside down, of how that just nestles in your palm like that. The straight portion for your feathers, your woodcraft, your camp chores and things like that, firecraft, and that little facet right there, that little hook that just hooks onto things, and it zips open those bellies and those legs and all that good stuff without dulling your tip, because you're going to need that tip to get in there and separate those joints and things, okay? So you want to save that for that portion and just use this for for all of the other places that you need a fine tip at. Right there, and just, you got it right there. It'll cut through gristle and dense cartilage and things like that very, very easily. And then you got the straight portion here for all your veggie prep, your kitchen prep, and things like that. Then you got a slight belly here for your skinning tours, and that little Nesmith hump right there to take care of all the other tasks that you need under your skinning chores. Okay, so you got a couple of options there. All right. Let's talk about some blade lengths and all that good stuff. So we already talked about the scanty portion to the tooth is about an inch and a quarter, and the flat portion is about an inch for the scanty portion, and then the portion here to that tooth again is about right at 4 inches, maybe a little less than 4 inches to that this portion right here to that little faceted tooth. Okay, so sort of the saber portion is about 4 inches, something like that, a little less, 3 7/8, give or take a 1/16 here and there. Okay, the overall is about 9 3/4. Okay, so if this knife interests you, then go to my homepage on this YouTube channel, and you'll see a playlist for the woods and game, and of people in the field using this knife. And there will also be a link in the description below of how to go to greatnorthernknives.com and order this knife under the WC Knives webpage there. Okay, so if you go to greatnorthernknives.com and look at the big WC, click on it, and go to that webpage, and you'll see a pre-order for this knife on their website right now. Hurry. These done, again, the stock will be 3/30 seconds, AEBL stainless steel. If you're not familiar with AEBL stainless steel, there's a playlist on this YouTube channel of us doing field trials with AEBL stainless, and what our testing has showed this steel to be. It's a phenomenal, true stainless steel, and it's my favorite steel. Out of all the crucibles that I've done, I still go back to AEBL. It has to be my favorite steel. Nitro V is very close, but you know, AEBL just holds a special place in my heart. But anyway. So there you have it, a very nice looking knife. If you want to know what the blade length is at the tooth or width, it's about 1 1/4 inches. So anyway, a very nice looking knife. It will come with first runs on the blades for the first run releases. If I can get that in the light so you can see that, it will come just like that. And on the back side, it will have a born on month and year, AEBL, and USA made. Okay? I appreciate each and everything that you guys do for WC Knives. You guys are phenomenal. I couldn't do this without you. Couldn't live my dream without you. So thank you so much. Thank you for putting your trust and your money into this company. And to me, I thank you. So until the next one, you guys get in the backyard, whittle on a stick. Be sure to take a child with you, get the opportunity. And don't forget that plenty of Band-Aids and lots of knives. We'll catch you again very soon.